At Liam's birthday party, I walked in on him and a junior from his department kissing passionately. Everyone was teasing him. "Aren't you afraid Hannah will throw a fit?" He smiled, completely certain. It was just a dare. She's not that petty. True. Everyone at a university knows she's as meek as a lamb. She wouldn't dare make a scene. But that wasn't true. Before college, I was sharp-tongued and feisty, and I wasn't afraid to get into a fight if pushed, until he told me that side of me reminded him of his violent, chaotic childhood. So, I slowly retracted my thorns, and in doing so, I became a pushover in everyone else's eyes. In a daze, I got into a car accident and forgot everything about him. When he finally arrived at the hospital, my best friend had just finished listing all his wrongdoings. I screamed, "How come his dad didn't beat that bastard to death back then?" Outside the door, Liam's body went rigid, his face instantly draining of color. Liam's birthday was also our 3rd anniversary. When he called, I was staring out at the heavy rain from inside the bakery. "How much longer?" His tone was tinged with annoyance. "We had a surprising number of orders today." I sighed internally. "I'm going to be late." "You don't have to wait for me." Liam, who had probably had a few drinks, couldn't control his temper. "Hannah, did you forget because of your lab work again? Am I that unimportant to you?" He hung up with a slam. I couldn't remember how many times he had lost his temper with me like this. I was almost numb to it. He wasn't like this at the beginning. Liam and I both came from a small town to study in the capital. In our first year of high school, I saw his drunk father beating and cursing him on the street. I was terrified, but I still rushed forward to shield him. Liam's body was covered in bruises, all from protecting his mother. Perhaps because of our similar circumstances, we grew closer. We promised to study hard, get into a good university, and escape our toxic families. Luckily, we made it. When our college entrance exam scores came out and we saw they were nearly identical, Liam was so happy he picked me up and spun me around. Flustered and shy, I asked him why he was so happy. He blushed and smiled. "Because I can go to the same university as you." On his 18th birthday, he confessed his feelings for me. Liam was so nervous and awkward that he stuttered. In that moment, I felt true happiness. But after starting college, he was gradually blinded by the glitz and glamour of the big city. The first time I noticed a change was when he used a month's salary from his tutoring job to buy me a designer dress that cost a fortune. I should have been moved, but then he said, as if joking, "You should have started dressing like this ages ago. You need to dress up in college. You have no idea how my roommates make fun of me for dating a country bumpkin." By then, he was already considered the most handsome guy in our department. Girls would post about him on the campus confessions page every week, many of them stunning. After that, he started nitpicking my clothes and style. I told myself he just wanted me to be better. I learned how to do my makeup and style my clothes. When I saw the look of surprise and satisfaction in his eyes, I didn't feel happy. Instead, I felt an indescribable sense of distance. The boyish charm in Liam's eyes faded, and he slowly became someone I no longer recognized. He started complaining that I embarrassed him by always wanting to leave parties early. He complained that I wasn't as thoughtful as other girlfriends knitting him scarves or watching him play basketball. He complained that I was too conservative and boring, that I was never willing to take our relationship to the next level. Complaints led to arguments. Arguments led to breakups. And then he would come back, begging pitifully for me to take him back. I'd soften and agree. Once, twice, 3 times. I had planned to surprise him today, but watching the relentless downpour, I suddenly felt exhausted. Lab work was already demanding. I just didn't have the energy to carry the weight of someone else's bad mood. "Let's just break up after this birthday. Maybe it's the best choice for both of us." The bakery owner saw I'd been waiting a long time and rushed my order. When I arrived at the venue, drenched from the rain, a waiter was just opening the door to the private room. A wave of boisterous noise spilled out. I looked up, and my feet were instantly nailed to the floor. 2 people, surrounded by a cheering crowd, were locked in a passionate kiss, holding each other so tightly it was as if they were trying to merge into one. One was my boyfriend, the other was Lily, the junior he always protected. When the long kiss finally ended, I could clearly see the thick lust in Liam's eyes. Amid the catcalls, he pulled a blushing Lily behind him protectively. All right, the dare is over. Stop giving her a hard time." His roommate nudged him with a sly grin. "Aren't you afraid Hannah will find out and lose it?" Liam paused for a second, then smiled with confident composure. "It was just a dare. She's not that petty. If she makes a fuss over this, I'll just break up with her and find someone more obedient." As he said it, he shot a flirtatious glance at Lily, who shyly lowered her head. True. Everyone at a university knows she's as meek as a lamb. She wouldn't dare make a scene. Teach us your ways, Liam. You've got your girl on a tight leash. Liam raised an eyebrow. It's simple. Start a fight to make her doubt herself. Then offer a little comfort, and she'll do whatever you want. Listening to their laughter, a chill ran down my spine. The handle of the cake box dug deep into my palm. So that's how it was. How it really was. Before college, I was always sharp-tongued and feisty. Growing up with my grandmother, who was known as the village tigress, I learned to fight back. She'd often stand at our gate, cussing out anyone who wronged us before defiantly splashing a basin of water to wash away the bad luck. I asked her why she did it. She said it was the only way for an old woman and a little girl to avoid being bullied. My grandmother knew I was naturally timid. She forced me to learn how to curse, forced me to grab a broom and chase away the people who called me an orphan. So, from a young age, I knew the best defense was a good offense. The day I saved Liam, it was my loud shouting that drew a crowd. His father sobered up a little and staggered away. Later, his father fell into a gambling debt scam, was tricked into going to northern Myanmar, and never returned. Life finally got a little easier for Liam and his mother. He used to say my fiery courage had changed his life, but after just 1 year of college, the very qualities he admired had become flaws he despised. In our freshman year, I saw a girl confessing to him. I stepped in to claim my territory, but she didn't back down. Instead suggesting sweetly that she just wanted to be friends, I lost it and cursed her out. Liam didn't say anything at the time, but later, he told me my behavior was unseemly. His expression was pained. Hannah, honestly, you remind me of my chaotic, miserable childhood. I can't handle it. My mind went blank, but my heart ached for him. I promised I wouldn't be so aggressive anymore, but one compromise leads to another, and another. Now I finally understood. What I saw as tolerance and understanding, he saw as handling his woman, a skill he even bragged about. Liam was like a beautiful apple, shiny on the outside but rotten to the core. He was completely spoiled. A wave of emotions washed over me, and my head began to throb. I felt so dazed that when a car suddenly lost control and sped toward me, I froze, unable to move. When I slowly regained consciousness, the first thing I heard was Ella's furious voice. Liam, your girlfriend is in a car accident because she was rushing to your birthday party, and you're at the hospital with your junior because she has a sudden stomachache. Are you insane? Hannah has you there, so I'm not worried. Lily doesn't have any friends or family here. As her senior, I should look after her. I'll be there in a bit. Ella, utterly enraged, cursed and hung up. I felt her sit down beside me, gently wiping my arm with a damp cloth. Her voice choked with emotion. Hannah, I don't know what kind of spell he has on you, but if you wake up and forgive that bastard after all this, we're done. We grew up together. I can't stand by and watch him hurt you over and over again. The doctor said you hit your head. You might have some memory loss. God, I hope you forget everything about Liam. Ella is my childhood best friend. When we were kids and a group of boys bullied her, I was the one who charged in to defend her. I taught her, through practice, how to be a spitfire just like me. She was a quick learner. We became an unbreakable duo. One would deliver the verbal assault, the other would fan the flames. We became the untouchable head girls of our school. Ella did better than us on the exams and got into the city's top university. I had listed her as my emergency contact. Subconsciously, she was the person I trusted most. I couldn't lose a true family member over a scumbag who didn't care if I lived or died, but being cheated on and then hit by a car was too humiliating. I decided to opt for selective amnesia. A moment later, I opened my eyes. Where am I? Ella froze, then her eyes lit up. Do you remember Liam? I frowned. No, but that name makes me feel a little sick. Is he an enemy of mine? Ella was hit by a wave of pure joy. She grabbed my hand. Oh my God, this car accident actually fixed your brain. I said nothing. My friend, let me tell you about Liam's 100 deadly sins. When she got to the part about me saving him from being beaten to death by his father, I exploded. What a shame. How come his dad didn't beat that bastard to death back then? I do one good deed in my life, and this is the karma I get. Rotten people don't deserve redemption. Anyone who is good to him is cursed. His mom was good to him and she died. I was good to him and I get manipulated and cheated on. He's a born jinx, a backstabbing wolf, a natural-born scumbag. As my words faded, the room fell silent. I looked up and met the eyes of Liam, standing frozen in the doorway, his face as white as a sheet. Ella noticed him too, her expression turning icy. What are you still doing here? Liam quickly composed himself, pretending he hadn't heard what I said. His gaze fell on me, hiding a flicker of panic. Hannah is my girlfriend. Why can't I be here? I noticed a faint lipstick smudge on his collar. The memory of last night's scene made me gag. Ella rushed to my side to rub my back, her glare at him growing even colder. Get out. Hannah has amnesia. She doesn't even know who you are. Liam's face darkened. I don't believe you. It wasn't a serious accident. How could she have amnesia? Ella laughed, but it was a cold, humorless sound. Does she need to be in the ICU for it to be serious? Would that satisfy you? Then again, a car accident is less important to you than taking a junior to the ER. A simple fracture and amnesia must be nothing to you. Liam's tone was dismissive. I already explained. Lily had a sudden bout of gastroenteritis. I was just helping out. I haven't slept all night rushing over here. What more do you want? He pushed past Ella and walked to my bedside. Thanks for taking care of Hannah. You can go now. Slap. A crisp, sharp sound echoed through the room. Liam's head snapped to the side, his eyes wide with disbelief. He seemed frozen, unable to process what had just happened. Who do you think you are? My voice was cold, stripped of the affection I once had for him. Liam seemed to finally accept that I truly had amnesia. He clenched his jaw, a bitter, incredulous smile forming on his lips. Fine, you're injured. I won't argue with you, but I am your boyfriend. We've been together for 3 years. We're very much in love. Understand? I pulled back my tingling hand and sneered. Who do you think would want a boyfriend who chooses to comfort a junior at the hospital over his girlfriend who just got into a car accident? Sorry, but I'm not that desperate. Let's just part ways while I have amnesia. I stared him straight in the eye. A former boyfriend sounds better than a criminal record, don't you think? Liam shot to his feet. Hannah, you've gone too far. You were the one who felt sorry for Lily's situation and asked me to help her out when I could. Now you're blaming me for it. He was right. I once saw Lily's parents pulling her and yelling at her outside the school gates. They were demanding to know why she hadn't sent money home. Liam told me Lily was on a scholarship and that her family favored her brother. They wouldn't support her education. She was only able to attend college by promising to send them money every month. Such families weren't uncommon in remote rural areas. Out of sympathy, I thought I could help a little, introducing her to part-time jobs, sharing study materials, things like that. Unfortunately, I didn't see the look of pity and affection in Liam's eyes back then, so when they started getting closer, I just thought he was being kind enough to use it as an excuse to shut me up now that I had amnesia. He was a master of twisting the truth and shifting the blame. He had probably convinced himself of his own lies. Seeing my silence, Liam sighed, his tone softening as if he were talking to a naughty child. All right, stop it. You can't just throw the word breakup around. I haven't slept a wink. I'm so tired. Before he could finish, I played the video on my phone. It showed the scene of him and Lily kissing passionately. Oh, so this is what you call helping out when you can. In an instant, all the color drained from his face. Even with the evidence right in front of him, Liam refused to break up. Ella was so furious she slapped him several more times. No wonder Hannah got into an accident. It was all your fault, you cheating bastard. How dare you show your face here? Liam hung his head, letting her hit him. I didn't cheat. It was just a game of truth or dare. Hannah only has temporary amnesia. When she remembers, she'll forgive me. We are not breaking up. He was certain that the old me would forgive him. Ella was livid. Where does a cheater get this kind of confidence? I said nothing. She slowly turned her gaze to me, and then we were both silent. Ella had classes to attend. Liam stubbornly insisted on staying to take care of me, so I let him. In the past, whenever we fought, he would go line up early at my favorite old dumpling shop in the south of the city. If one time didn't work, he'd go again and again, and eventually, my anger would subside. He was trying the same trick now, but I wasn't buying it. Take it away. I don't want it. Liam's expression stiffened. Then what do you want to eat? I'll go buy it for you. I stared at him. I don't want to eat anything, because the sight of you makes me sick. Liam finally snapped. He swept the bowl of dumplings onto the floor with a crash. Enough. How long are you going to keep this up? You're going to sentence me to death over a stupid game. I already said I'd keep my distance from Lily. What more do you want? I looked at the soupy mess on the floor and laughed. If you can't handle it, then get out. You're the one clinging on for dear life. What's this act all about now? Liam pressed a hand to his temple, a vein throbbing. He took a deep breath. I don't want to fight with you. We'll talk when you're better. He stormed out, seething. He didn't come back all night. When Ella found out, she went on a 10-minute tirade over the phone. She then efficiently hired a caregiver for me. That evening, a junior I was on good terms with sent me a message. Senior, take a look at this photo. Maybe it was too dark and I was mistaken, The photo showed a man and a woman walking intimately toward a hotel. The man's profile and the clothes he was wearing were painfully familiar. I smirked. A sense of calm, of course, settled over me. A leopard can't change its spots. After all, I didn't sleep that night. If things went as expected, more definitive proof would be delivered right to my doorstep. At 3 a.m., my phone buzzed. It was a series of bed photos from Lily. Liam's eyes were flushed. He was clearly drunk. He was sleeping soundly, shirtless, the love bites on his chest stark against the white hotel sheets. Lily was pressed tightly against him, a triumphant smile on her face. I quickly took screenshots. A moment later, she predictably unsent the photos. This was her usual method of provocation. It started with pictures of them in meetings, which she would frame as reporting to me. Later, seeing how easy I was to push around, her provocations grew bolder. Pictures of them eating together, of Liam helping her with her thesis, and once, a picture of him tying her shoelaces, which she quickly unsent, pretending it was a mistake. Lily was certain that even if I found out, I'd just have to swallow my pride and stay silent. After all, I had always been gentle and weak. Now, it was clear she was getting desperate. Liam, in his effort to pacify me, had deleted her contact information right in front of me. How could Lily possibly tolerate that? It's true that I used to be incredibly soft-hearted with Liam, but that was only when he hadn't crossed my bottom line. Now that I knew about his disgusting behavior, all my love had vanished, replaced by a burning desire for revenge fueled by disgust. I had given him a chance for a dignified breakup. He was the one who refused to take it, insisting on clinging to me, playing the part of the devoted boyfriend while sleeping with Lily. To have taken things this far, whatever consequences followed, he deserved them. The next day, Liam rushed to the hospital only to be told I had already been discharged. An unprecedented sense of panic gripped him. I had blocked him on everything, knowing he was in the wrong. Liam put on a grand performance of trying to win me back. He stood outside my dorm with flowers almost every day. Such a high-profile display quickly became the talk of the campus. He played the role of a deeply devoted man to perfection. My roommate came in from the balcony, clearly used to our on-again, off-again drama. "Hannah, it's been a week. Are you still not going to see him?" I stared at my computer screen, fingers flying across the keyboard. "Almost done." My roommate looked at me in disbelief. "At a time like this, you're still processing lab data." "It's not lab data." "Then what is it?" I closed my laptop and smiled at her. "A PowerPoint presentation." My roommate helped me downstairs. The moment Liam saw me, his eyes lit up. He hurried over, his weary face finally breaking into a smile. "Hannah, you're finally willing to see me." My roommate sighed. "Maybe I should head back up so you two can talk." I shook my head. "I just have a few things to say to him." Liam's expression changed. "Hannah, I was wrong that day. I lost control because I'm so scared of losing you. Please, forgive me this one time. Do you know how heartbroken I've been? We were so in love, yet you only forgot me. I can't accept it." The sorrow in his eyes was almost overflowing. He gently took my hand. "But it's okay. We have a long time ahead of us. Whether you get your memory back or not, I'll always be with you." My roommate was visibly moved. "Hannah, you really did love him a lot. Maybe you should give it another chance. I'm afraid you'll regret it when you remember." Liam shot her a grateful smile. "Thank you." I remained non-committal, taking out my phone and recording Liam's face. "Stop with the emotional blackmail. To me, you're just a stranger with a flair for the dramatic. Do you know what the best part of amnesia is for me? It's that I can view your actions with complete objectivity and rationality, and then respond accordingly. If you really knew me, you'd know that I show no mercy to those who've hurt me. I'm giving you one last chance. Where were you that night?" With every word, the color drained from Liam's face. When he heard the last few words, his pupils contracted, and he instinctively took a step back. He quickly composed himself, his expression softening. "Hannah, I was drunk and went back to my dorm. You can ask my roommates. They all know." "Are you misunderstanding something?" Liam stared intently into my eyes, as if gambling on whether I would believe him. I looked at him calmly, finally letting out a soft sigh. I wanted to give my 3 years a dignified ending, but it's a shame. My roommate finally sensed something was wrong. She shot Liam a wary glance and quickly helped me back upstairs. An hour later, the campus social media page exploded, thanks to Liam's high-profile attempts at reconciliation over the past week. The PowerPoint presentation detailing his affair with Lily was like a drop of water in a vat of hot oil. It instantly went viral. 32 pages, complete with photos, text, and the video I had recorded of them kissing. It laid out the love triangle with clear logic and a complete chain of evidence. The reason it took so long to create was that Ella, with her experience on the promotions committee, helped me refine and edit it. It was, without a doubt, designed to be eye-catching. If you're going to do something, do it right. So, let me get this straight. The girlfriend brings a cake in the rain for his birthday, only to find him passionately kissing someone else as a dare. Then she gets in a car accident, and instead of rushing to the hospital, he goes to take care of his junior who has a sudden stomachache. When the GF wants to break up, he gets mad, then goes and sleeps with the other girl. WTF, what new breed of scumbag is this? And he gave her multiple chances for a clean break, but Liam kept harassing her, waiting downstairs for days. God, so many people were calling him devoted and saying she was ungrateful. I know the girlfriend. This guy is a master manipulator, always saying she only cares about her experiments and never spends time with him, constantly pushing her boundaries. When they break up, he comes back begging, saying he only acts that way because he cares so much. All I can say is, I'm glad she finally saw the light. What rotten luck to run into a guy like him. Same department. I saw Liam and Lily holding hands at a lecture once and thought they were a couple. Turns out it was an affair. Holy shit, there's more. This junior isn't innocent either. Look at the chat logs. The girlfriend was always nice to her, helping her find internships and sharing notes, and in return, she secretly sends pics with the boyfriend to show off. Anyone would be disgusted. A real snake in the grass. And the hotel pics. She wasn't even pretending anymore. While the girlfriend was in the hospital, I wish I could slap them through the screen. I support these two scumbags ending up together. Ella had a wide network. She didn't just post it on our university's page, but on the pages of every major university in the city. She even sent it to a local gossip account. Thanks to Liam's good looks, it even trended for a bit. When it rains, it pours. People who recognized Liam's face also knew his friends. Rivals naturally took the opportunity to fan the flames. I know that guy Chris who always hangs out with scumbag Liam. He's a total player. Cheated countless times during his relationships. Am I the only one worried about health issues? A group of people who think a good dare is making a guy with a girlfriend kiss another girl can't be good news. That kind of group is usually extremely promiscuous. Who knows what kind of STDs they have? OMG, so scary. Someone should map out scumbag Liam's social circle so we can all steer clear. Someone already did. It's hilarious. WTF. I know one of the guys on that chart. I saw him in class last week with some weird red spots on his skin. It couldn't be. God, stay away from these people. It's terrifying. Can't we report them to the university? This whole affair ended up exposing several other scandals involving Liam's friend group. It was as lively as New Year's. I didn't see Liam again until 2 weeks later. He cornered me as I was leaving the lab. He had lost all of his previous composure and arrogance. His eyes were filled with bitterness and despair. He stared at me, his eyes red-rimmed. Hannah, how did we get to this point? The old you. You would never have done this to me. My lab partner pulled me back, her face a mask of disgust. Senior, don't talk to him. Who knows if he's caught some disease and is trying to get revenge on you. Liam's head snapped up. I haven't. Am not sick. He seemed to have developed PTSD. He was already infamous on campus. Passers-by were now casting strange looks in his direction. Liam instinctively flinched away from their gazes. He took a deep breath and forced a pained smile. Can we talk alone? I won't hurt you. I can explain everything. I didn't cheat. I was just drunk and thought she was you. Please, just believe me this one time. I had no desire to watch his pathetic performance. I walked past him. There's nothing to talk about. Hannah, I made a mistake. But are you completely blameless? I stopped. He sounded like he had nothing left to lose, his voice laced with resentment. Every time we broke up, I was the one who came begging. Did you ever once make an effort for our relationship? All I wanted was for you to spend more time with me, but you were always either working or in the lab. What time did you have for me? Were we even a couple? And we dated for 3 years. I wanted to take things to the next level, but you refused. Did you ever really see me as your boyfriend? Or, did you ever even love me? Liam's gaze was ice cold, as if I were the one who had wronged him. I turned and walked back toward him. You only mentioned that you were the one who always came back after a breakup, but did you ever ask yourself why we broke up in the first place? You only mentioned that I wouldn't take the next step, but did you ever ask yourself what you did to make me feel so insecure? He froze, and then I continued, honestly, I can't figure it out either. Why did I ever choose to be with someone like you? Can you remember what you said to me when you first confessed your feelings? His confused expression hardened instantly, his lips trembled, and his head dropped, unable to hold my gaze. Clearly, he remembered. And I hadn't truly lost my memory. Back then, his eyes had shone with a fiery light, and he had promised me the future. Sincere and nervous, Hannah, I will work hard, study, and make money so I can give you a happy life. I had said, okay, and I'll work hard with you. It was a shame. I never forgot that promise, but he had wiped it clean from his memory. My voice was frigid. You always said how much you hated your father, but now that I see you for who you really are, I think you're truly his son. You've inherited every single one of his defective genes and grown into a despicable bastard that everyone loathes. Admit it, you're just like him. Shut up. Liam's eyes were bloodshot. He suddenly lost control, lunging forward and wrapping his hands around my neck. Don't you dare mention him. My lab partner screamed for help, her hands shaking as she dialed the police. It wasn't until people started running toward us that he snapped out of it, releasing me. His eyes widened in horror, and he stumbled back as if he couldn't believe what he had just done. I gasped for air, a wild smile spreading across my face. See, what did I tell you? You're just like your abusive father, he sagged, defeated, tears streaming through his fingers. I'm sorry. Ella arrived at the police station and immediately went for his face, barely restrained by the officers. With eyewitnesses, he was charged with intentional assault. Liam paid me $5,000 in compensation. I used the money to treat Ella and my lab partner to a fantastic meal. The three of us raised our glasses with a smile, to a triumphant victory. Someone uploaded a video of Liam's psychotic break to the campus forum. His reputation sank even lower. Everyone avoided him like the plague, afraid of catching his bad luck. Lily didn't have it easy either. Before, many people had sympathized with her for having such terrible parents, but now that her role as the other woman was exposed, that pity turned into a fierce rage. With every insult aimed at her like a needle, she was branded a backstabber, a label she could never escape. I never expected she would come to see me. She was already slender, but now she was so thin a gust of wind could knock her over. Her face was pale and haggard. The moment she saw me, she knelt. Hannah, I know I wronged you, but I have nowhere else to go. I'm pregnant. Liam won't see me. I don't know what to do. My heart stuttered. The absurdity of it all was laced with a dull ache. I never thought this relationship would end in such a humiliating way. Lily wept, looking pitiful and lost. I sighed and helped her up. Might as well see it through to the end. I'd help her one last time. We sat facing each other in a private room at a Japanese restaurant. What are you going to do about the baby? She instinctively touched her stomach. Her lips pursed in conflict. I don't know. The doctor said my uterine wall is thin. If I have an abortion, it might be hard for me to get pregnant again. And, she glanced at me timidly, biting her lip. I can't let go of him. Tears streamed down her face. Hannah, since you've broken up, can you please let me have him? I know I've hurt you terribly, but I really can't live without him. I frowned. Then why don't you tell him yourself? She sobbed uncontrollably. He won't see me. He said he hates me. Suppressing my nausea, I began to gently guide her. If you can't let him go, why don't you tell your parents you're pregnant? Her head snapped up. They'll kill me. Why would they? I took a sip of my drink. Shouldn't they be thrilled you've landed a meal ticket? Liam is your best option right now, isn't he? Think about it. He's graduating from a top university. He'll have a bright future. If you explain all that to them, they won't just forgive you. They'll praise you for a job well done. Lily looked conflicted. But Liam won't agree. I smiled. You don't have to worry about that. His father was an abuser, and his mother is gone. What he wants most is a complete family. Once you have the baby, he'll definitely change his mind. You'll be a happy family. What you need to do now is cling to him, by any means necessary. Understand? She was silent for a moment, then looked up at me, her expression resolute. I understand. Thank you, Hannah. I gave a bitter smile. After all, the baby is innocent. Soon. The news of Lily's parents causing a massive scene at the university was everywhere. They brought Lily to Liam's dorm and started screaming. They cursed him for being irresponsible, for getting their innocent daughter pregnant and then abandoning her. They cursed him for being a selfish coward. They even threatened to go to the police and accuse him of rape. The situation escalated until the university administration got involved. Both parties were taken to the dean's office. Someone posted anonymously on the campus forum. They said they saw them while dropping off some documents. It looked like they had reached an agreement. Lily's parents were beaming. Liam looked like he was attending his own funeral. It seemed he would have to take responsibility whether he wanted to or not. My roommate showed me the news, her face full of schadenfreude. That scumbag did so many awful things and still had the nerve to act all devoted in front of you. That PowerPoint made me sick. It really takes a villain to deal with a villain. This is so satisfying. I was cleaning my desk. I smiled. It is. My roommate asked. Are your documents for the study abroad program all ready? Yeah. I'm treating you guys to dinner on Saturday. Are you free? Of course. I chose a seafood restaurant we used to frequent. We'd been going there since our freshman year. We were regulars. It has a whole wall covered in sticky notes with reviews from customers. It was completely covered now, but Liam and I were among the first to write on it. We didn't want to bother at first, but the waitress offered us free juice, so we each wrote one. Mine. The food is great. I hope you never go out of business. I want to eat here with Liam forever. Liam held my hand, his eyes crinkling with a smile. He wrote, this place is amazing. I will propose to Hannah here one day. But times had changed. Still, a meal was a meal. As we were finishing up, I went to the front desk to pay. Walking past the wall, my eyes locked onto the two notes stuck together in the middle. I casually tore them down, crumpled them into a ball, and threw them in the trash. The cashier knew me well. She looked at me with a pleased surprise. You two haven't been here in a while. I smiled. That's right. She looked past me. I'm so jealous of you two. Your relationship is still so strong. I froze and turned around. Liam was standing right behind me. He looked more composed, but there was an exhaustion in his eyes that he couldn't hide. I heard you're going abroad. Yes. Congratulations. I had no desire for small talk. I nodded and started to leave. As I passed him, he spoke softly. I'm marrying Lily. I looked at him. What? Am I supposed to send you a wedding gift? Liam's voice grew hoarse. He looked at me with despair. I'm sorry I broke my promise. This is my punishment. I accept it. I have no future now. Hannah, I hope you'll always be happy. I didn't say a word and walked away. Given our current relationship, wishing each other well was inappropriate. It would just feel like he was being sarcastic. I truly regret it. The words were so quiet they might have been a figment of my imagination. Liam stood there for a long time. He looked down, opened his palm, and revealed the two crumpled balls of paper. His heart tightened, a painful pressure building in his chest until he could barely breathe. Hannah, you remembered, didn't you? Before leaving the country, I went back to my hometown. I wanted to spend my last bit of free time with my grandmother. She was a bit surprised. That boy didn't come back with you. I didn't want to lie. I explained it delicately. He's a lot like my father, so we broke up. My father had left for work in another city, had an affair, and divorced my mother. My mother cried for a while, then dumped 3-year-old me with my grandmother and left. She later remarried and started a new family in another city. I was the one nobody wanted. My grandmother's expression soured. She spat on the ground. Another ungrateful bastard. I told you to keep your eyes open, but you wouldn't listen. Now you're heartbroken, aren't you? I didn't dare say a word, but despite her harsh words, she went to the chicken coop and caught an old hen to make me soup. Eat more. Look how skinny you are. The familiar aroma filled my nose, but it only made my eyes sting. I hadn't felt it before, but back home, all the grief came flooding out. Impossible to contain. I shoveled rice into my mouth, desperately trying to hide the tears falling into my bowl from my grandmother and Ella. My grandmother patted my back, her voice unusually soft. Don't be sad. This is fate helping you out. By getting rid of the bad one, you can meet someone good. I sniffled. Okay, my studies abroad were demanding, but I felt a sense of peace. Without those toxic people in my life, the unpleasant memories quickly faded. The next time I heard about Liam was during a video call with Ella. She started cautiously. About Liam, how much do you remember? I felt a pang of guilt but decided to tell the truth. Actually, I never had amnesia. Ella, that day in the hospital. I heard you say you'd end our friendship if I went back to him. I was terrified. I was afraid you wouldn't believe me, so I had to pretend to have amnesia to break up with him for good. Even if I was an idiot in love, you're still the most important person to me. Ella was stunned for a long moment. Then her eyes welled up with tears. You idiot. Did you really think I'd abandon you? You're such a good actress. You even fooled me. I thought you weren't hurting at all, but you were carrying it all by yourself. I can't imagine what you went through. Oh God. I quickly comforted her. It's all in the past. Everything's fine now. I even met a cute guy. The truth was, when disappointment accumulates, the pain eventually fades. When the time finally came to burn the bridges, all I felt was a sense of relief. Ella took a deep breath. Well, then I won't hide it from you. Liam is dead. My mind went blank. For a moment, I didn't know how to react. A long time later, I found my voice. How did he die? Ella, his father beat him to death. It turned out his father, after being scammed in northern Myanmar, had gone from victim to perpetrator. He had become a low-level boss in the operation, He had secretly returned to the country to trick more people into going, and his targets included Liam. After all, Liam was handsome and would be a valuable asset there. Liam managed to call the police when his father wasn't looking, but his father, being a criminal, had developed a sixth sense for trouble and quickly realized something was wrong. Enraged at being betrayed by his own son, he beat Liam to death with a pair of pliers. Lily, who was on leave from school for her pregnancy, witnessed the whole thing and was terrified out of her mind. In her frantic escape, she fell down a flight of stairs and miscarried on the spot. Later, as she was still trying to get away, she was hit by her father-in-law's car. Both of her legs had to be amputated. When her parents found out their daughter was disabled, they went straight back to their hometown and abandoned her. Lily's future was ruined. Fortunately, Liam's father was eventually caught, preventing him from harming anyone else. After hanging up, I sat in a daze for a long time. I suddenly remembered what I had screamed in the hospital. What a shame. How come his dad didn't beat that bastard to death back then? In a way, it was a beginning and an end. After a moment of reflection, I moved on. I had experiments to run and no more time to waste on people who were no longer part of my life. A message popped up on my phone. It was from the new cute guy I'd met. "It's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow. Want to hang out?" It was a funny coincidence. I had run into him right after finishing an experiment. Just as he was furiously arguing with his stepmother on the phone, he had pulled me over. "Yell at her for me. If you win, I'll give you $1,000. That was my specialty. I took the phone and unleashed a torrent of expertly crafted insults. I nearly gave his stepmother a heart attack. When I turned back, the cute guy was looking at me with pure admiration. To make a two-faced witch like her that angry, "You're a genius." I just wanted to take the money and leave, but he started following me around. His attempts at accidentally running into me were clumsy, his pickup lines were terrible, and his one-sided text conversations were mostly with himself. I hadn't planned on responding, but I glanced at the weather forecast. Tomorrow was, indeed, a rare, perfectly sunny day. I smiled and typed back, "Okay."